Hey, welcome. Today we're going to be putting in an REI AW-30 waterproof radio in this Bobcat Skid Steer. This is a T-Series 740. We're going to show you how easy it is. First thing we're going to do, we got to get the cab up, got to get the seat out, got to have access to the speakers. We're going to start with a 3/4 inch, preferably a 1/2 inch socket. You're going to access the 2 bolts on the inside. You can use either an open-ended ratchet or you can use a socket. Open-ended socket might work a little bit easier. You're going to take off both the nut and the flat washer. Set these aside, and we're going to lift the cab. It's usually easier if you've got 2 people. We're going to lift the cab up. We're going to go ahead and shut the door. 2 people, 1 person, whatever works best for you. With both those bolts out of the way, we're going to lift straight up, and the whole cab is part of a hydraulics hoist system. And once you push it all the way up till you hear it latch, once it's latched, let go, you're free to go. Next step, we're going to be removing the seat because we need to get access to the gray panels, and then we can access our speaker paneling. With that, we're going to need a 1/2 inch, preferably a deep well.
Put it back away.
We're going to go ahead and knock out the seat bolts. Normally they're a lot tighter. Yes, we cheated and already have them loosened up. Okay. While we've got the cab up in the air, we've got some fittings we need to remove. We're going to take these plastic fittings out right here, which are holding our speaker, this whole entire left and right plastic bracket. Then we can access everything from the inside once we get the seat off. Best bet is 2 flat screwdrivers. If you don't have that, panel popper, whatever kind of tool you can get. You want to get underneath here, give it a little pull, and that'll release it. Sometimes the fitting's a little sticky and want to stay with it. Put them back together so you don't lose them. Once we go ahead and pop these out, we're going to get these 3 fittings on the left side and 3 fittings on the right side out. In my case, I'm going to come back here later. I'm going to grab the lower part of the fitting here. Some are a little tricky, probably covered in mud and dirt. There we go. Then come back here with your panel pop tool if you want and just get the lower base.
They come easy, huh? What you got?
All right, when you get the cab up, you're going to pull out pins 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one more hiding underneath this foam insulation right here. 6. We're going to drop the cab down. Next thing you do, it's real nice if you have a helper. Somebody to grab the cab, push the release, bring the cab back down. Okay, you're free. Everything out of the way, watch fingers. There you go. All right, we've got the cab back down. We've got the seat bolts removed. Now we're going to do one of 2 options. Number 1 is remove the seat. There's 2 harnesses in the back. It's a lot easier to get the seat out of the way. So I'm going to go back and remove the 2 harnesses, and then the seat belt latch has an interconnection that'll disconnect, and then we can pull the whole seat out. So once you get the seat belt disconnected, You got 2 harnesses for the seat itself. Now we're going to pull the seat out. Thank you. Now with the seat out of the way, got all the room in the world to work. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and get these panel clips off. These are the same ones that were on the bottom side. Once you get the top half off, all things should come out. We got one more over here. Next, we need to go ahead and remove these clips here, 3 on either side, and then we're going to try to pull this entire panel assembly out on the left and the right hand side. They're both independent. Our experience is the best way to handle this. So go ahead and just pop these. Get fresh clips. Now that we've got all our clips out from underneath the 2 side panels, I'm going to go ahead and release the pocket. This is where our radio is going to go. We're going to pop out the speaker grills. Now this whole assembly, we've already got these tabs popped out. I already popped out the pocket here. This whole assembly should come right out. Now cigarette lighter adapter should be a 2-pin disconnect. Now we can preload our speakers right in this location. One more. Deutsch plug in the back. Cooling unit. Before you get started on the left hand side, you've got your washer fluid tank here in your assembly. The motor's right here. Disconnect the motor. Now the washer tank's already connected to this bracket here. Now we got to get access to the HVAC, which is right here. These quick connect plugs. And you got one more locking connector here. Now you got your washer tank in here. I'm just going to free this up. And we're going ahead and just assemble the speakers right here where we're at.
Alright, after you remove the right panel from the inside, you can add the right speaker right here. Put these 4 screws. I already put 2 right here, so I got 2 left. Make sure that you don't over tie these. After you're done, and then you can just turn around and put the grill. And that's it for the right speaker. Alright, for the left panel, you won't be able to get it out because the seat belt is in the way. So you can just leave the grill there too, and then I just put the 2 screws right here to make it easy. And then you can put the last 2. And that's it for the left speaker.
Now we got our whip antenna. We're going to have to access it, so we need to disconnect the ball joint with the Phillips head. Once we get the Phillips head out of the way, now there's a countersink screw. You need to access the countersink. This is going to separate the inside from the outside portion. We're going to remove these 2 pieces. You're going to find some heat shrink on here. The heat shrink on the screw is going to be super important. Do not lose that. Do not miss this. This heat shrink right here is an insulator, so it's going to insulate the vehicle chassis from the center screw. So I'm going to go ahead and install it on the Bobcat now. All right, we're going to put the antenna in. I've already got it actually loaded up and ready to go. Previous step, we took some metal, took some paint off so we can get a real good solid ground. It's going to improve your AM reception. When you install the antenna, you need to make sure the cable is facing the window side, because there's a bracket inside here. The bracket, so the cable will go out here and exit down. So when this slides in, it's going to have to go that way. So just make sure you orientate the antenna facing the window with the cable coming down. All right, now we're going to go ahead and install the antenna. Line up the teeth in there, screw the Phillips down snug. Make sure the antenna is mounted vertical. So we're all done with the antenna base. Now, when we're going to run the antenna down, Bobcat provides us a nice little channel behind the felt carpet. We're going to go ahead and fish it down through here, and everything is going to pop out down here at the bottom. It's going to pop out through the bottom, and in the plastic panel down here, it's automatically, there's an opening in the corner here so we can fish it through. Okay, I've got everything lined up top. Bring everything here to the side, drop it straight in. Our cable's going to get fished along the carpet down to the lower plastic that we pulled out of here earlier. Then we're going to bring back in our top mount assembly, mount up our holes. Give it a little push off to the side. Everything's going to drop into place. Then you're going to take your Torx screws, drop them back in. Now we've got everything back where we want. We're going to take the Torx screw, the long one, get it back into place. I have to kind of hand start it to find out the original hole location. There it went. While that one's in line, let's go ahead and just get this one dropped into place. Make sure we're lined up with the original thread. Looks like it's threading down. I'll tighten these up off camera and meet you on the next step. All right, we're going to put our panel in. We're going to start with the left side. We're going to have to make it connections, what we had left over. Right now we've got a 3-pin, waterproof. We've got speaker, 2-pin. These may have a cover on them. You may just have to remove the cover. You already have it off. And you've got HVAC controls. Check the alignment. Put your hand on the other side and give it a push. This rocker switch here, check the alignment. Everything reconnects in. The rocker might pop out, pop it back in. And confirm you've got your temp controls, your rocker switch, and blower motor. Everything's all connected. All right, after we've got all our connections made for the HVAC and our new speaker edition, remember to double check the water line for your washer reservoir. Everything's got a little guide channel in here, and it's a little tricky, but everything should fit right back into the existing channel. Okay, now that we're in the channel, and we want to pay special attention to where all our cables, hoses, and everything go. Now, I disconnected the Phillips screws here so we can get a little extra on this pillar, give you a little more room to play with. Make sure everything's tucked in underneath. Slide that guy in, bring this guy over, and tuck underneath here. Once you get your hand underneath here and you can push everything into place, get the plastic up on top, and everything gets tucked back in to the corners. So we're going to grab our cover plate, fish that through the seat belt, drop this guy back in. I'm going to hold off on these fittings for right now. In some cases you're going to find we had to cut the tops off. These are available at your dealer, or there's other options for plastic fittings, Christmas trees, number 10 sheet metal screw. We're going to come back to that, and then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to replace this pillar post assembly with the Phillips screws I just took out. And sure everything lines up first. This fittings had a retaining clip on the back side. So just bring them snug again. Okay, now we're going to do the right hand side. Reconnect your extra fan blower connections. Then you've got your speaker connections. Like I said before, some of these have a factory cover on them. You're going to have your radio plug. You need to go back to the cigarette lighter. Your 12 volt DC source. And we're going to connect our new speaker. Make sure it locks. Now we need to make sure we get underneath here. Now I'm going to do what I did on the other side. I'm going to remove these Phillips screws here to get to this post. It makes dropping in this panel a lot easier. Pull this out a little bit to give some more room to work. We're going to reconnect our fan for this AC duct. We're going to come in here, we're going to connect our new speaker to the new Deutsch. We're going to grab our antenna that we just ran and our new radio, and then we're also going to reconnect our 12 volt source or the cigarette lighter adapter. Now, the easiest way I said was like on the other side. You need to get this guy in and go at an angle, lift it up and in, get this front panel in. Once the front panel drops in, bring in the rear panel, make sure the wires, looks like all the holes for the fasteners are going to line up. Should have no problem. Now we're going to come back and reassemble this pillar. Let me get these started here. And we're going to come back and snug these guys up. Now we got everything lined up where we wanted. The fitting should line up. Now the next step we can do, actually drop in our radio. So we're going to need to come over here to the table for a second. We're going to show you how to mount the radio to the plastic bracket first. Okay, out of the hardware kit, the only thing we need is our 5mm screws with the star washer, and we're going to need our Bobcat bracket. Bracket itself is uniform, there's no top, there's no bottom. We're going to assemble everything through the wires, through the bracket, out the bottom here, the aux cable, USB, antenna, external microphone if you're using one, and the aux RCAs. Fish all that through the bracket. Bring this guy around. We're going to grab the drill. We're going to go ahead and grab the 5mm screws. We're going to secure everything to the fastener. Sorry, to the bracket with the fasteners. So we're going to go ahead and put the 4 screws in. You don't need to torque them down too tight. Now we've got everything ready to assemble. Let's go back to the Bobcat. Okay, REI's got a custom harness, 513084. Comes with your Bobcat kit. It's going to go direct plug to the 9-pin Bobcat. Got a locking tab. This Deutsch plug mates up exactly with the existing OEM Bobcat plug. You take the antenna that you just ran. Everything's good there. We're going to tuck everything in. Everything's going to slide in. We're going to get a nice snap. It's going to be a real tight fit. There we go, top and bottom. Now, let's do a test run. We're going to turn our equipment on. Everything's up and running. Change stations, Bluetooth, AM, FM. We'll come back to the radio in a little bit. Let's finish this install. All right, drop in our pocket. Got new fittings. Fittings slide in from the top. Some cases you may have to loosen them up. Make sure everything lines up. Drop them in the hole. Get the panel a little tug. That's right in. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure our holes are lined up. Drop in that top fastener. She's binding a little bit. Might have to finesse it back into place. And our last one. Once you got the fittings in here, come back in with your Phillips screwdriver. Take your time, drop the Phillips in. Repeat the same steps on 1, 2, 3 location on the left and duplicate the same thing on the right. Now we're back in the cab. We're going to reassemble our fittings. Extend these out a little bit. That might be the mix-up. That was a different one. Drop the fitting in. Drop the plug in there. This one's the wrong one. This one here. Some are a little snug. There it goes. And do the same thing on this side. A little finessing. A little luck. There. Same thing. A little finessing. And we got one last one hiding up here. Okay, next step, we're going to drop in our seat. And then we're going to lift the cab, put all the seat bolts, tighten them down. All right, we got the seat back in, all the rails lined up. You come back with your 1/2 inch deep well. We go ahead and bring everything back, torque down. I like to kind of alternate just to make sure everything's coming down nice. I'm sure everybody out there may have a better way to do the seat. Those T-bolts are on there. They have to fit in that channel. Okay, I want to get all these torqued down. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to show you guys where all the fittings go. We should be good. All right, we're going to go ahead and insert our fittings in. Everything's just pop right in. Next one's already done. Keep working our way up the list. Drop that one in. A little higher here. You got one hiding underneath. And don't forget this one, right up here underneath your foam. And drop the bottom one in, drop one in. There we go. Bring everything back down. And we're going to repeat on the other side. All right, now you got your cab down. Your last step is go ahead and drop the 3/4 inch nuts with the square flat washers. Now, there's two other options. An open-ended wrench seems to work a little bit better. A ratcheting open-ended wrench should be even better. Okay, now that we got the cab down, we're gonna go ahead and drop our bolts in. See right here, we got the big flat. You come in here and hand tighten. with the 3/4 inch nut. Now, the easiest way to do it is get a ratcheting 3/4, or you can go ahead and use this open end. Take a little bit longer. Or if you have a short socket, you can get in here with the 3/4 like we did originally. Bring everything down tight. Repeat on the other side. Got everything installed. Got the AW-30. Let's fire it up.
With iHeartRadio.
Oh yeah, and a new phone.
Got 4x6s from REI. Fit in the factory location. Everything works good.